All the foreigners I know in China, like expats who actually live in China, they are basically Chinese teacher because if you're not working in China, you don't really get visas and stuff. You can only stay a limited amount of time, right? But if you want to live in China, you have to work in China.
And it's easy for a Westerner to be an English teacher and just work there.
I think it's easy, and especially a few years back, you don't even have to be able to speak English to be an English teacher in China.
What?
Yeah, because it's just the appearance, you know what I'm saying? Most of the schools, most of the institution, they just need a foreign guy, a foreign girl, preferably to sit there, be cute.
Have you seen an Indian guy? Or Afro
I
American, not white people?
I used to know some Spanish guy. I mean, they are more or less Indian.
But you mean Latin Americans?
It doesn't make a difference, but they are dark. I mean, they're brown, right? They're tan, they're brown. They teach English in China, and I mean, even Chinese people who look like foreigners, they can teach English in China. So you know this region I told you about, where the Uyghurs live, and back then we had some really famous
Uyghurs?
The Chinese Muslims. Which
the community is called the Uyghurs, right?
They look like Turks, and they're descendants basically of Turkish people, right?
Right.
So they look not really like Chinese. So even for them to teach English, they would have more credibilities because they naturally just don't look like someone who can speak Chinese, and that makes it that makes it a default that they should speak English or some shit like that.
What a loophole, bro.
It's a loophole, bro. It's a loophole. I mean, in places like China, like I believe India is the same. You get a lot of privilege at work.
In India, definitely they look a lot into what you studied, bro. Like your background education, because
maybe because you already speak English.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's almost English-speaking country actually. India, official languages everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, what I wanted to ask is how much do they pay? Like, do they pay good for English teacher?
I really don't know. One of my friend, he's doing well in China, but he's really like he's working because some expats, they're just traveling and they're just trying to have fun, you know.
Wait a minute, what's different between expat and an immigrant? These guys should be immigrants, right? Because they're working in China.
China has no immigrants. Chinese themselves are immigrants.
No, bro, I'm asking, right? Like these guys, when they work, right? They're considered as immigrants or not? Like, will they have an ability to get Chinese residency, permanent residency or not? Because it's a communist country, so I'm just wondering.
In order for the word immigrant to exist, immigration has to exist first.
You don't have immigration
We
department?
don't have an immigration system and some shit like that. I mean, like, they call it immigration, but who can actually get Chinese passport? There's really a few. Even if my wife marries me, even if my girlfriend marries me, like, it's gonna be hard for her to get like Chinese passport. It is basically impossible.
Yeah, because we are the same, like China and India. If you want to get it's a single passport country or something, I don't know, there is a technical term for that. If you have Chinese or Indian passport, they can't have any other passports. Nationality.
Yeah, basically like citizenship. In order to get Chinese citizenship, you have to either be a big villain of the West, or you have to be like, you have to make some huge contribution to China or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
What if your girlfriend she's Russian, right?
Yeah.
What if she just marries you? Like what?
She can get a residence permit.
Just keep extending it.
I think it was like every 10 years or something like that. I don't know. Again, I don't know, but I know. Of course, there are a lot of foreigners who marry Chinese and they live in China, safe and sound. Thanks to God, but like they cannot get Chinese citizenship. Their kids may be Chinese, but even so, they cannot get Chinese citizenship. They're always going to be, even if they're 99% almost Chinese, they speak Chinese, whatever, they live in China. But there's always that 1% they cannot, unless you're some like top-notch scientist, or the Epstein list. Maybe maybe them. All right.
Yeah.
She will give you a citizenship, but that's gonna be really hard.
That's crazy. Because in India, a foreigner can just marry an Indian person, or get a. Oh, I only know the marriage way. I don't know any other way, and it's easy. They can get a nationality.
If I go to India and I marry an Indian girl, can I be Indian?
Yeah.
Get a passport?
Yeah. You can be a national, but you have to give up your Chinese passport.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean,
That's the hard part?
I mean, China is also going to ask you to forfeit your own Chinese passport if you want to immigrate to. I mean, not immigrate, but like
Go to another country.
get
Be another
passport.
country national.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a weird system we have, and as a foreigner in China, I think you can have a lot of fun, right? Because you're gonna get good jobs. It's not gonna be hard for you to find jobs, at least, and
Right.
and it's gonna be so easy, man. Especially back then. Now, more or less, it's becoming more and more competitive because we have a lot of foreigners in China nowadays. But back then, just even 5 years ago, you come to China, you settle down, you figure out a way to stay. You can be a professor in university. I mean, to teach English. Like the friend I just mentioned, he's actually getting promoted. If he's not promoted, he's actually at least like he's getting a promotion right now.
So it's possible to climb the social ladder
in China.
China, even though you're not a citizen or something.
No, I mean like just in university, university. He's gonna be the director of the faculty or something like that, and he's getting paid more. That's why he prefers to stay in China rather than go back to his own country. But the problem is, being an English teacher, if you're not making like a lot of money, like fuck you money, you're basically wasting time in China. At least that's how I look at this, right? Because you are developing a career in China, but China is China. When you go back to your home country, I don't think that career is even half like recognized by university. I don't know. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because look, you're teaching English basically. You cannot go back to your home country and teach.
Yeah,
English.
makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. Just my perspective on this. But if you're making good money, make some investments, and I think you're good to go. But if you decide to come to China, you already worked 10 years because those guys, like I told you last night or something, like the parties we had, and those guys, they lived in China for at least 8 years, right? And they're just working on the same job, and after 8 years, you're comfortable here, but this society here does not accept you 100%. But you are here, like you're getting comfortable. It's hard for you to fit in completely because of language, because of the culture.
Yeah,
it's just a tough situation, I think, for anyone to step into, right? Like,
right.
Like you cannot go back to your home country too because it's gonna be hard to start from zero. And now you're 30 years old, right? You're almost 35, 30.
And especially when you're from the West, you have some English job experience in the China. You go back to West, I don't think they will consider
those things.
That's
why they don't plan to go back. But staying here is like probably there's no like bright future.
Gotcha.
You have to, at least the salaries wise, it's never gonna be enough to afford you a house in your own country.
Basically,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Basically, it's like customer services job. You just do it for a while, and you.
No, it's fine. It's definitely not customer service. It's gonna be paid more than that, and also it's gonna be more.
Yeah. Because it's crazy, bro. In India, right? When I was in India, I had English teachers and all. They're not getting paid a lot, but when I was in Europe, right? Man, English teachers, like you said, in China, is a lot of value for them, let's say, demand for English teaching.
Before, yeah.
Like now, even now. I used to check like just, in France, in Europe, basically. Yeah, in Barcelona, Europe, Western Europe, let's say. People want to learn English because, their English is not their languages, and they pay really good.
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is you need to have
of course,
proper
certifications.
backgrounds, yeah. But English teaching is not a bad field if you want to move to Europe or China, as you were saying, I guess, from what I see.
Probably, man. Just English, this language itself is really, I don't know. Like, of course, you're always going to have the market.
Yeah.
But then, do we really need a teacher nowadays? Like, you have AI, you have all this kind of stuff. If you are going to learn Russian, then you definitely need a teacher. Yeah. Or any other European language, because you don't understand the grammar. It's going to be really... Even if you go live in France and you don't try to learn the grammar,
you know what, bro?
You cannot understand.
Yeah. Even without AI, right? Before, when I took my IELTS exam, the British IELTS exam for English, I took once in India, right? I didn't prepare at all. And then in Moscow, I took it again for when I got selected to French university, right? They asked me IELTS certificate. So in Moscow, I took the exam.
To take it again.
Yeah, and I just prepared myself using YouTube, nothing else, 2 weeks. And I got the C2. C2 is big or C1 is big?
What's
C1,
the
I got the
scores
C1.
you got? I think it was...
I got 7.5 for 9.
Some score. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it was good. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you don't need people to teach English and stuff. But it depends on how you are, the learner is. But anyway, some people are just comfortable, with people offline.
Speaking of IELTS, did you know that Russians cannot take IELTS now?
Because IELTS also pulled off from Russia due to war?
Yeah, because of the sanctions. And so if you're a Russian student and you want to study in
there's
in the
no
West,
way.
there is way. There is way.